100 FM The Pike, Worcester's rock station, Audio Slave, and I Am the Highway. I think that's an appropriate song for the guest we have in the studio right now. The man behind Paulie's Push, former flight attendant Paul Veneto, is here. Now, if you don't know his story, first of all, Paul, thank you very much for coming in this morning. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Paul was a flight attendant for, how long were you a flight attendant for?
Probably between all 5 airlines, about good 25 years, I would say. Yeah.
Wow. And so you started Paulie's Push after 9/11 to make sure people didn't forget about what you call the first responders. Yes. And that's the mostly the cabin crew. Is that what you call them?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So the flight attendants, those people that work with the passengers.
Yeah.
Who did what they could.
Yeah.
During 9/11. And because people were focusing obviously on the firefighters, on the police, and the flight crew. But you made it a point to get out there and bring attention to this, and you did it by doing something we associate with flight attendants, and that's a drink cart.
Yeah.
And so you started pushing that from Boston to the World Trade Center. 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay. And then now, how many years has it been since?
Well, I did the route of all 4 airplanes.
Yeah.
So 2021, on the 20th anniversary, I went Boston to New York. And that was 22 days, 220 miles. And I thought I was done, like I told you earlier, but a guy donated a mobile home. And at that point, I decided to do each aircraft. So next year I went Washington Dulles Airport to the Pentagon. I came in there where Flight 77 crashed. And the third year, Newark to Shanksville. That was the longest one, 300 miles.
Yeah, that is a long walk.
4 mountains, and took me a month. And then I did one more Boston to New York in 2024. So I completed all 4 aircraft routes on the ground. Over almost, I think, 750 miles complete all 4 of them. But this year's the 25th anniversary, so people were saying, what are you going to do? And I wasn't sure I was going to do anything because I completed my mission, really, the first year, and now really all 4 years. I needed national attention, and I got worldwide attention. So I accomplished what I really set out to do. But when people were saying the 25th anniversary, what do you think you should do? And I thought about it. I remember the first day I pushed that cart in downtown Boston. It was a hurricane, and people started coming out.
Wow.
And I was getting emotional, and I'm thinking, oh, my God, I wish everybody could experience this moment. Because it was just like after 9/11, people coming together, neighbors talking to each other. So I thought about that, and I said, I know what I'm going to do. And I went and I got 4 more beverage carts, and I designed one for each aircraft. So this year I'm going to push my beverage cart, but I'm going to have the 4 other beverage carts for the public to come out on the street over 60 towns and push alongside with me. So that way there the kids can come out and they can experience and look at neighbors coming together. And I had crowds of people, lines of wheelchairs waiting for me through Connecticut. I was just amazed at what was happening on the street. So it just turned into something that I have the opportunity to really bring us together and teach the lesson of what happened on 9/11 to the people that weren't around. So
there's kids who weren't even born, or people, I should say, full-grown adults who weren't even born.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's important that they know about what happened, that we all remember that.
Yeah.
And that's, you're doing an amazing job with that. And as far as the people on those flights, I mean, some of the stories that you hear about, we all think flight attendants, they get us our drinks. I need I need an extra blanket.
Yeah.
Why can't you put that in the overhead? I don't want to check. That's all. That's how we. And that, you know what? And that's good.
Yeah.
That means things are going the way they should be.
Yeah, exactly.
What are some of the things that they had to deal with?
Well, that's the thing that haunted me, and I knew it must have haunted family members and a lot of people really quietly, but because they couldn't really talk about over the air, the news, really the reality of what was happening. They did to some extent, but it was pretty bad at 8 o'clock in the morning what these crew members were dealing with. They were fighting hand-to-hand combat with trained terrorists that practiced killing with box cutters. They practiced on camels, and So can you imagine what they were doing to human beings up there on that airplane?
Yeah.
So these crew members weren't trained to fight. They weren't military-trained flight attendants. But what they were able to do when they realized what was happening and what they were witnessing, and these terrorists sprayed the cabins with mace, a lot of the public don't realize the aircraft, the two that hit the towers were wide-body aircraft, 767s, and first class, business class, and coach. So we pulled the curtains between the cabins. So when these terrorists made their move in first class, nobody in the back saw that. But when the flight attendants are calling up front and nobody was answering, they would come up from the back of the plane through the curtains into business class, into first class, and they would see the gruesome scene on the floor. And their eyes were burning, and they were wondering what was going on. What it was is the terrorists were spraying mace. So they were running back and forth through the cabins, relaying messages to other flight attendants that were on the phones, telling us what was going on up there. I get emotional thinking about So, how can we not recognize these people?
Yeah.
For that?
If you feel helpless, right? You feel helpless.
How can we not recognize these people for their heroics?
Yeah.
At least to comfort their loved ones that they were left behind. So I just push the cart, really. And it draws attention like this.
Right.
And you guys invite me to be able to tell a story so people can hear the story and they can tell it. Keep the promise that we never forget.
Right.
So every time I talk about it, I feel like I'm walking in their shoes and how they.
This is why you're doing it. Yeah, and you've been doing it for quite a while, and so now you've got 4 extra carts, so more people can be involved and more people can learn about this.
Oh, absolutely.
So when are you going to start?
A month from today.
Okay.
August 15th.
Okay.
Downtown Boston.
Downtown. Do you know exactly where that's going to be?
It's going to be at the 9/11 Memorial.
Okay.
Right at there's a park. I always forget the park where the swan boats are. There's a 9/11 memorial.
The Public Garden.
Public Garden.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a ceremony there at 10:00, and then the public will be able to push the beverage carts with me straight up Newbury Street. So that'll be the send off.
Okay.
So August 15th is a Saturday. Yeah.
And so you've got your route. Obviously, you're going to take the same route you did before.
Yeah, it's on the.
And there'll be a place in each town you go through, and you're going to have help from the first responders in those towns.
Police
right?
and fire escort. Almost, we didn't ask for that, and they've been there every year for me. They just show up and they just escort me, and because the crowds come out, and that's really the key to the whole thing is the people. I say it all the time. I'm just a guy pushing the cart. It's the people. It's you. It's everybody that shares the story. And slowly, some of these crew members' families, some people aren't ready still to this day to talk about it. Family members aren't ready. And I would never open up wounds for anybody. I'm not. Right. That's not my thing. But I've been able to slowly, by who've reached back out to me when they see the social media, they see the news about what's happening. So I've had emails from some of the pilots' sisters emailed me thanking me for doing it, and it's just turned into so much more than I could have planned. I had no idea what was going to happen here, but it just keeps developing. I go into the schools now and I tell a story for kids that weren't alive, and believe me, I could have you here all day with the stories. I always say I wish I could wear a GoPro, but I can't because some of it's so personal.
Right.
It really is. Right. It's so personal, and but it's really special. I know this year is the big year for a lot of people, and the reason why is because some of these family members that I've met, I know that their family members are going to be passing on. They're at the age, and I feel like this is an opportunity for all of us in this country to really. To just say that we recognize them.
Yeah, that they're not forgotten either.
No.
Yeah, and that's hopefully a little bit of comfort for
those
people. So where can people go online to get information on the walk, the route, where you're going to be? Okay,
on our website is pauliespush.com, PAULIESPUSH.com, and all the information's on there. There's, thank God I have people that volunteer, friends, and that put this all together for me. But all the information, anything you need, there's even my phone number's on there, I believe. Chris, who does all my social media for me, he puts a website up, and there's probably about 8 people really, that core people that dedicate their time, and nobody's paid. It's all volunteerism, and we all away from their families and some on the street for almost a month at a time to do this. They give up their incomes, they give it their family members, and I have people driving the RV for me. People coordinate on the street with the police and the fire. The biggest problem I have is I'm always worried about my people that are doing this for me. You know what I mean? I'm so worried about them, and because they dedicate so much,
right?
And it means so much to me what they sacrifice to make sure this. But they've come on the street, and what they've witnessed is what I was talking about all the time, and they can't believe it themselves. They can't believe what they're hearing. So they're as loyal to me like I've never seen, and I'm so grateful for that. So every night, this is a different one because we don't know what we're in for. We don't know what we're in for each one of them. How could we? Weather would change. I went through 2 hurricanes the first year, and so. But this year, we just with these 4 beverage carts and the people joining me. There's no way to really know how long it will take. But, I have to be there by September 11th. But each day's, we had to lengthen it to 28 days. But we just don't know. But it'll be there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But with the help of everybody. So.
Right. And is that website the same place? Like if people can't come out and support you on the route, can they go there and make some kind of donation?
Oh, yeah. You can donate online. And also we have a GPS unit that goes on top of my beverage cart. So people can follow me literally with their phone. We've had people coming off the highway that just track me down. You can track me wherever I am. So it's pretty cool that someone designed that specifically for me. And Jeff Henderson and his brother Chris is the one that does the social media for me. These guys are from upstate New York, and I got 2 high school buddies, Stevie and Dennis, and I got family members too. That I do a lot of parades now and school. People help me out because it's turned into more than me just the beverage cart. There's a lot more now, but. It's all volunteers. It's just crazy. So I'm just grateful I could do it. This one is really special for everybody. That's why we're calling it Everybody's Push. We recognize that everybody, not just the flight crews this year, we recognize that everybody that died on 9/11 and the people that have died since 9/11, everybody was affected by 9/11. People that weren't born were affected by 9/11. I know people that were pregnant that were going to deliver their kid in one city, and after 9/11, they moved to another city. So that child was going to be born in this city, but because of 9/11, they were born here. And the stories are endless. We all know that. Yeah. But so this is important for all of us to recognize and honor everybody from 9/11. I just feel like the pain that people are still living with can be eased a little bit by the help of all of us coming together like we did after 9/11.
Yeah.
And if ever we need it is right now, you know what I mean? So
yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I mean, that's that a lot of people think back to that, as one of the very, very few positives of that day is that the way the country came together. Yeah. And I think, to me personally, and I always say this, the best thing Americans do is come together like that to help people. Yeah. And when they're done and they help people get back on their feet, they go back to the second best thing Americans are great at, and that's arguing with each other, right? But that's what this country is based on, people arguing with each other, and it's still going on, So I really admire what you do. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
August 15th is the day it starts, Public Gardens in Boston. Yeah. Please join Paul Veneto wherever you can. Do you know how close it comes to Worcester? Do you know the route
I don't know exactly. The map is on the website, though.
Okay, you can check it out there.
You can see that,
Drive out to see Paul along the route somewhere and shake his hand, maybe give him a bottle of water or something and some words of encouragement.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And we'll post all that information up and this interview at pikefm.com. We'll put it up on our social media. So if you want to help Paul get involved with everybody's push, not just Paulie's push this year, it's everybody's push.
That's right.
All right, Paul Veneto, thank you very much for coming in this morning. And again, we all really appreciate what you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.